Glinda's the most emotionally complicated character in Wicked, and here's why. So, about an hour ago, I don't know how many hours ago when you're watching this, but a new Wicked for Good movie trailer just dropped out. It's called Glinda's Place in Oz, and it's a 1-minute trailer, and it's basically Ariana Grande really dissecting Glinda's character. Like, she's really talking about the deepest, darkest parts of Glinda's psyche. As she steps into this representative figure of Oz, she's struggling with a lot of inner turmoil, and Ariana chooses just the right words to describe this inner conflict that Glinda's going through. So basically, I'm just going to analyze some key parts of the trailer that really can capture Glinda's essence as a character. So let's start from the beginning, with a really depressing beginning. Yeah, you can see from the beginning that shit's about to get real, right? So the trailer opens up with Glinda opening up the door of the Ozian Palace, and there's a crowd of people cheering up on her, and then it cuts to her inside her palace, her private palace, and she got that really depressing look, and she looks into the mirror, and she looks into the mirror with a really depressing look, and she looks kind of upwards, like she's ashamed, embarrassed of herself, and like she doesn't recognize who she is anymore. And later, Ariana Grande will back up what I just said, so bear with me, okay? You can even see that her smile is not as bright as it was before, right? She's got that smile. It's not, you can see that she's putting on a show, she's putting on a facade. And then we have her new gorgeous penthouse, and look at that. This is really genius, okay? Because it's this huge ass penthouse, and it's huge but empty, and the only two people in there are Glinda and Madame Morrible, who is just the person who is gaslighting her, manipulating her, threatening her throughout the whole movie. So is this truly home? It just makes me remember Elphaba song, No Place Like Home. So you see Glinda's home. Is that truly a home? Because like, it's a huge place with lots of luxury, glamour, but she's deeply alone. And the only person right next to her is the person who manipulates her during the entire movie, and that during the first movie just puts her down the whole time. So it's truly very depressing. It just comes to show how alone she really is in this new part of her life.
She's really moved on up in the world.
And I especially like the way Ariana Grande say she's really moved on up in the world, and she says this with a heavy, almost tired voice, almost like she moved on up in the world, but at what cost? Like, she's alone, she's with her biggest enemy right next to her, like, she's moved on up, she's tired, she hates herself, like, at what cost? She's moved on up, right? It's basically the meaning of thank goodness. Is this truly happiness? Like, happiness as it is presenting to me isn't what I thought it would be.
Her persona has gotten so far away from who she actually is.
So this phrase, her persona, has gotten so far away from who she actually is. This, to me, is like the key phrase that Ariana Grande says along with the next one she's going to say.
She keeps little pieces of her that feel like the real Glinda.
So I think it's genius that Ariana Grande says she keeps little pieces of her that feels like the real Glinda and not Glinda. So there's a clear distinction between Glinda, the good, and Glinda, her true herself, her real persona, that is lost. She can't find herself anymore because, as she said, her persona has gotten so far away from who she actually is. She's putting on that mask so much and so much and so much that when she looks in the mirror, she doesn't know who Glinda is anymore. She's totally lost.
She's more lost than ever, pushed to this breaking point.
Ariana Grande says she's more lost than ever, and she runs away, right, to her balcony, like really seeming lost and in a state of despair. Then it shows Madame Morrible threatening her again.
And decide to be vulnerable and feel the discrepancies of justice.
And she sees from her balcony people hunting the Wicked Witch, Elphaba, and she looks at them and she runs back into her house, and she closes the windows with a lot of pain in her posture and her eyes. Like you can see she's truly suffering from seeing her best friend being demonized like this, and without being able to do anything, and even worse, serving as a meaning to encourage the witch hunters. So yeah, really depressing, right? And I forgot to mention something very important, that is what John M. Chu, the director, says in this specific part where Ariana sees the witch hunters and closes the windows, which is to be in a place of privilege and decide to be vulnerable, feel the discrepancies of justice, that is courage. And you can see that Glinda, she is in that place of privilege, and I don't think it's about deciding to be vulnerable. It's about, I can't take it anymore. For so much, Glinda has been putting on that mask, but it comes to a point on the story that she just can't take it anymore. She just can't fake it anymore. She has to be vulnerable. She's witnessing in real time the horrors that the society is doing to her best friend and the example of goodness that she has in her life. And she sees all of her morals, all of her ideals being shattered because everything deeply good about Glinda, because Glinda wasn't good before. She pretended to be good. She learned to be good with Elphaba. So she sees all the real goodness being ostracized in front of her, and she's being compliant. She helped to ostracize her best friend in a way. She's in that place of privilege, but she can't stand it. She can't close her eyes and pretend like nothing's happening. Why didn't Glinda jump on the broom? Because she is not that kind of girl. That's not who Glinda is. But the choices she made to be compliant, to fake, to lie, and pretend that's being encouraging, she knows deep down that's really wrong, that what she's doing is wrong, and it's hurting the person she loves the most, and she can't stop it. That hurts like hell to her. And then she goes on to put on her crown and hold the wand, and she walks, and she's not like that bubbly and happy Glinda no more. She's like pissed. You can see she's angry. You can see she's gotta like, I gotta take accountability for this. I gotta hold people accountable for what they did to Elphaba. I gotta do something. She also has changed. You can see in this scene she's stronger. She's ready to fight. She comes to the conclusion that since I can't hide it anymore, I need to fight for what is right.
The bubble really does have to finally pop.
In the end, you see her crying again, which really depicts the complexity and the mixed feelings that are growing inside of her until she finally reaches the point that, oh my god, I can't take this anymore. This is going too far. This is not helping me. This is not the dream I wished upon. I can't stand the actions the government is taking, so I gotta step in and actually do something for good. To be good, actually good, and not just pretend to be good. She reaches that conclusion when she finally grows stronger and she decides, I'm gonna take this vulnerability and do something good about it. I'm gonna put this crown and hold this wand, and I'm going to kick this wizard off this goddamn Oz. You know, I'm going to do something instead of just pretending to be good just to be good. I'm going to actually be good. And that's when she actually learns the biggest lesson she has to learn from Elphaba, that good can't just be a word. It has actually to mean something. And she goes and she makes it mean something. Even though she can clear her friend's name, she knows deep down that she has to make sure that every action that she's taking is for the greater good and not just pretending to be good. And that's the greatest evolution that Glinda has in the end of the movie/musical, because holding the weight of this mask is so heavy that she decides, no, I need to change. I need to do something about it. And that's when she actually becomes Glinda the good for real. And it's a really great and complicated character evolution. She goes through a lot inside until she reaches the point that, yeah, I really gotta do something about it. I can't let my friend and the goodness she has in her just die. I need to keep it alive within me. And I think that's why in No One Mourns the Wicked, she is much stronger than in Thank Goodness. She has that strength. She can smile brighter than like in Thank Goodness, in I'm Not the Girl Reprise, because she actually evolved as a character. So when she goes on and she throws the torch, she's pissed. She's angry, but she's strong because she know, I'm not gonna let good just be a word. I'm gonna keep my friends' morals and beliefs alive within me, and I'm going to do something about it, and I'm going to spread this to the Ozians. She finally learns her lesson through much pain and through loss, and she ends up being alone. In the end, that's it. She ends up being alone, but she evolves and she becomes a much fiercer person than she was before. She was just a really spoiled girl, and she becomes this figure that really learned what good really meant through a lot of pain and loss and a lot of identity issues, a lot of detachment from herself and from the world. When she finally reclaims herself and what she really believes, she can also regain her power and step on and evolve as a person and become stronger.